So, if you want to do it and avoid all of it, come to council, then do it at 60 days.
The only thing that I still will question, I know we're going from 30 days before early voting to 60 days before early voting, but I still, you know, there's people right now, and I think it's their right, I don't think we should be regulating it, that's not why I'm pointing this out, but there are people right now that even after the primary last week have already put out their signs for candidates for state elections in November. And I don't think we need to put our code people in a position, the letter of this would say they need to go tell those people that they have to take down their candidate for governor sign, and I don't think that's appropriate. So I would personally, I know we'd like them to be removed within a certain amount of time, but I think we should get out of, I think political signs, as far as the size, that's a good thing to regulate, but I think we should totally get out of when political signs can be placed. If that's a speech issue, I think we need to let people do that, and I don't think we need to put our staff or us in that situation of trying to regulate that.
Well, and what it does is it kind of just punishes the honest.
Right.
Because we have all these people, it amazes me the people running for judges of all things that break those laws so blatantly.
Are you talking about residential and commercial, or both of these signs? I agree with residential. To me, if it's my house and I want to put a political sign out there, now whether we want them in the commercial area, because the problem is, a lot of them, and I will say this time, a lot of them did go out and get them finally, but some of them, you know, especially if they lose, I guess they just leave them up there. I know when I ran before, I told people I'd have them down within 24 hours, win, lose, draw, and but when I had run in that county campaign, I wouldn't put mine up anywhere without that I didn't have someone's permission. And the landowners I was talking to were shocked that I even asked them. They said, nobody's ever asked us, they just go out there and put them up. And I'm totally against that.
Well,
I would like for the same.
All these are on the highway, when we have the bottom of every sign lists how you can't do it, but when I asked Marvin about it, he says that the county officials say not to enforce it.
Yeah.
And this last time, you know, I made a deal out of it because it wasn't our candidates. Our local candidates followed the law,
Right.
but now that voting is available for other things to come, other people to vote here, it's those people. And I talked to the guy putting out the signs, and he was a real jerk. And he was putting up, you know, so it's a political thing. They're putting up signs for 5 or 6 different people, so it's not even the person running.
It's
Yeah.
a consultant.
Right.
And they got consultants that they hire to go out and take care of that. But, yeah.
So I wish they were controlled. I wish that they were illegal completely,
I mean,
but
like
we can't enforce it, so I agree with you that
I don't know why the state makes us put it on the sign if we can't enforce it.
Right.
Somebody's got to be in charge, will be able to enforce that, I would think.
It's
enforcement. It's, what is it?
It says it's got to be doesn't it say something like a district attorney or somebody that's got a...
Yeah, a sheriff.
It's something county related that's very archaic language that basically...
And they're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
I think we should have our police chief do it.
Yeah.
Black three-wheel wagon, he's pedaling around and push the ball up. Yeah, so personally, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I don't know if we could block it in commercial districts or have time limits in commercial versus residential. I personally rather us be out of it entirely. I mean, maybe if we remove it 3 days after, I guess that's fine. We can at least let people know, but I'd rather be out of it completely.
Blocking views.
Well, yeah,
that is a problem that I've seen with my commercial property, them coming and putting it up and me having to go move it because...
And that's certainly still...
Can't see through the stop sign.
And we kind of like we're moving those in the way everybody likes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Yeah, so we would still have, we would still have right-of-way, public safety, things like that. And like I said, size, I mean, we've got it limited to, the state limits it to whatever that size is. So, you know, there's a point where we can say if it gets bigger than that, then it's a different story. But I'd rather us be out of the timing period.
Well, but if, only thing I think about is on the commercial, because that's when people are gonna see it driving up and down the boulevard. If after the election's over and the property owner just says, allow them to just keep it up there, we're gonna be looking at campaign signs for the next year or two, till the wind finally blows them down. I think there'll be something in there that says, when the election's over, you got so many days, and you gotta come get this stuff.
But who do we cite for that? I mean, that's the thing, because the attorney's not gonna tell us, I don't think, that we can go on their property without a warrant and yank that
Could you
sign.
put that on the property owner itself, saying, you need to have this removed within so many days after the election? You're allowing them supposedly to put that on your property, you need to have this thing removed. Now, residential, I have no problem with people, because they can go out there and pull their sign up.
That Beto Cruz deal, man, they had them up there for a year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing,
I'm not moving mine till he moves his.
I guess that's, I would question if we put that in there for commercial, what enforcement we really have, because are we gonna send, we've already got, we can all probably come up with 10 different things code-wise that maybe, you know, we think needs to be looked at, and I don't think they're doing a bad job at seeing those things, but do we want them to spend the week after an election finding a property owner and sending a letter out and all this other stuff? Obviously, the easiest thing would just be, if they leave it out for more than 3 days, we just go pick it up and take their T-post, but the attorney's not gonna say we can do that. So, I mean, so realistically, if we don't have something we can enforce, I don't know much of a way to do it. To me, the people that follow these rules are the people that run for city stuff, and those people are gonna take theirs down within 3 days because they actually care about the community. So I think that, I'd rather us be out of it.
I always took mine down the next day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just take them and throw them away, and then you don't have them for
Right.
especially if you like to keep your wire and everything.
So some of this you're gonna have to keep in there though, as far as the electioneering zone and all.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying get rid of all that. I'm just saying the point about, political signs being put out and when, the time frame of when they're put out. That's the only thing I would rather take out.
And that would be the only thing I would say about if you're gonna have a takedown, you need to give a little bit of leeway in case you end up with some nasty weather, somebody's not forced to be out there.
I think within 10 days after the election's over.
Well, I mean, even 3 or whatever, but like you mentioned, the next day, well,
Yeah.
See, there's no way a person commits offense if they don't remove the sign within 10 days after the election.
I'm fine with that, as long as we get rid of how early they can put them out.
Countywide election, you know, here, locally, one of us, our signs, yeah, but if you're running for a county election, you got signs scattered all over the county, then I think you need to give that crew the time to get around all those counties, the whole county, to pick up all those signs, but that's why I'd say after 10 days, I think that's more than fair.
And maybe on the 11th day, a vigilante sign crew that has nothing to do with the city.
Somebody,
that looks like they do a money on go out and grab.
I've seen the vigilante crews in action when I buy houses signs seem to disappear. There's a vigilante crew that gets those.
All of that, including 1 through 4 out of there? You're gonna have illuminations. There's more than 8 foot in height, has an effective area greater than 36 square feet, is illuminated, or has any moving elements.
That all still needs to be regulated.
yeah.
The only thing,
Timing.
the only thing is for either the size of either a yard sign or even the larger, signs that that are around. Those are normal political signs, and I don't think we should regulate what time those can go out, although I'm fine with the 10 days to get them up. But if we take that out. So yeah, if anybody wants to put anything out there that's